All right, for those of you who don't know, my current role with the military, I'm actually what's called a command historian for the Connecticut Military Department. So I'm assigned to Joint Force Headquarters in Hartford, the Armory, and what my mission is to preserve and honor the memory of Connecticut's National Guard soldiers. So for today, I'd like to pick one of those soldiers in particular, who happens to be my grandfather. So I prepared a few short words about he's my 3 times great-grandfather. He's a Union Civil War veteran. I never met him, despite the contrary, people think I've been around forever. I don't have a picture of him, but I've learned so much over the years about him that I think so highly of him that I actually named my son after him. And hopefully you'll start to know why, what an incredible person he was. His name was Michael Farley. He was born on November 1st, 1840 in County Leitrim, Ireland. He immigrated to the United States in 1849 at the age of 9. When the Civil War broke out in 1861, he chose to stay home, even though many of his friends went off to war. That was until the summer of 1862, a year later, when an old friend, actually his best friend, a Lieutenant Thomas Sheffield, came home after suffering a wound in North Carolina. He came home looking for replacements, new recruits for his unit that was deployed in North Carolina. My grandfather, like I said, was his best friend, so apparently they met and he did a little arm twisting, and then my grandfather signed up for 3 years. So he shipped off. He joined what was called Company G of the 8th Connecticut Regiment. It was nicknamed the Stonington Company because of the many members of the company who actually were from Stonington, Connecticut. So my grandfather enlists for 3 years, signs his name, ships off to New Haven, spends a little time there, then he goes to Virginia. If any of us know the Civil War was really pretty hot in Virginia. He arrives in Fredericksburg, Virginia, at the Lacey House, which you can still visit today, on August 16, 1862. And the officers take charge of these new recruits that come in, and I was very fortunate to find a letter of one of these officers commenting on my grandfather's arrival, which is very rare to find. And it kind of made me laugh a little bit, because the officer said, in Company G, Captain Russell has been drilling 4 recruits, one of them my grandfather, for that company that just arrived. I could not laugh to see how eager they were to learn and how pleased to handle a rifle. All that will come to an end soon, as they will find a gun as mighty heavy on the march and not nearly as pleasant to the touch as a plow handle or shovel at home. He was very right. My grandfather was very naive of what was to come. A month later, he saw his first action at the Battle of South Mountain in Maryland, September 14th, 1862. 3 days later, if that wasn't bad enough, he was at a place called Antietam. Make sure if you're in 8th grade history, you talk to Mr. Owens and Mr. Miller about Antietam. The Battle of Antietam still ranks as the bloodiest single day in American history. 23,000 American soldiers fell in one day. My grandfather's regiment suffered 50% casualties. Half their regiment was gone after the battle was over. My grandfather still remained, probably a much different person at the time. A few months later, at the Battle of Fredericksburg, also in Virginia, they called for volunteers